Alright, I think I have time for one more story quest. This is called A Bold Decision, level 89, given to us by Kryl. We are at the Baldessian Annex, and let's go. Mercy, I trust you had a good rest. An envoy of Master Fortuno's arrived not long ago with a message. The Loperites have determined Meteon's location. We've been asked to gather at the Rostra. I'll meet you there, along with the others. Tataru waves and walks. Oh, just waves. Okay, just me. Alright, so we'll go to the Rostra using this Ethernet shard. We'll get closer to this one at least. Headshot, sorry. Why can't I mount here? Let us ride our beautiful mounts in town, you butt faces. Decorum, they cry. Bird poop, they cry. My chocobos and other mounts are well trained, so let's stand over here to make up. Wind Up City, you've been with us for a while. Let's switch you out just to see what we got next. Ramza, again, I had that literally right before Civ. Puff of Darkness, I don't like that one. I don't know why I have it in my favorites, but Wind Up Onion Night is fun. Okay. Talk to Fortuno in this chamber where all the meetings happen. I have a feeling I'm going to have to talk again, but we'll see. Yep. Everyone appears to be present and accounted for. Good. As you know, the Loperites have decided the whereabouts, deduced the whereabouts of Meteon by means of a crystal bequeathed to us by Heidelin herself. Your quarry's location is a place far beyond the moon, in the farthest reaches of the Sea of Stars, at the edge of creation. A veritable Ultima Thule. Ultima Thule was in italics, if that matters. I don't know why. Yashul says, Indeed, how then are we to reach it? An excellent question. Luckily for you, I have an equally excellent answer, says Living Way. In theory, with its advanced propulsion systems, the moon is capable of delivering you to Ultima Thule, but the myriad other facilities housed within would greatly impede travel through the Sea of Stars. Even the Mother Crystal may not possess ether enough to bear so massive a vessel to our destination and back. However, if we integrate our Hyper Hopper into your ether burner, we should be able to fire things up and jump our way to the end of the universe in no time. Father, does this mean... Fortuno looks to the other dude, whose name I can never remember. And the other dude nods his head. Bear in mind, this decision was not made solely at my discretion, but with the consent of the Forum. Hearing the Loperites' proposal, the Forum was faced with a grave decision. To commit the Ark to this endeavor would mean abandoning both our plans to evacuate to the moon and to resettle on another star. Needless to say, the proposition invited fierce debate. In the end, however, the Forum was swayed by the simple fact that Heidelin believed you possessed the strength needed to overcome this crisis. The Great Exodus was, after all, a plan of Heidelin's own making. Therefore, if in the 11th hour she would proffer another means by which we may seek salvation, we would be fools to dismiss it out of hand. Indeed, she sacrificed everything, her very existence, to avert the destruction of this star. That is why we have chosen to place our faith in Heidelin, in you. The Ark will be made ready for your voyage to Ultima Thule. What of all the people that have labored so tirelessly to prepare for the evacuation? They must be furious, says Alice. I would not be so sure. They have not forgotten your deeds on the Magna Glacies. Nor did your instrumental role in orchestrating the delivery of adamantite go unnoticed. No, the people do not protest. Quite the contrary. They have expressed unwavering support for you and your mission. Rian J says, Are the Loperites too willing to abandon the Exodus? Are the Loperites too willing to abandon the Exodus? Were you not listening when we said we were born of Heidelin's love for Aetherius and his people? If it means your survival, we will do anything to help. And you'll most certainly have need of our expertise where you're going. There's no guarantee Ultima Thule is a place that supports life. An otherwise vexing problem our know-how can remedy. Besides, Heidelin chose us to lead the way to Meteon. Why else would she give you a crystal only we can decipher? But more importantly, we were perfectly content to evacuate Aetheris until you brought us here, Urianger. And now we're enamored with the place, so what choice do we have but to save it? Urianger smiles after a second. Fortuno, of course none of this is possible without you and the Scion, so I must ask, are you certain you wish to do this? They turn to me. Of course, dude. It's part of the storyline, I have to do it. I think, eyes closed, head bowed a bit. My options are, you couldn't stop us if you tried, or we'll avert the final days, whatever it takes, or, well, we've come this far. You couldn't stop us if you tried. It was between that and, well, we've come this far. The Scions cheer, nod, fist in palm. Fortuno nods as well. Very well, we shall inform the Forum of your decision and begin preparations to bolster the Ark with the, Hyper Hopper. That was in quotes. The Loporrits will coordinate with the Isilbard contingent to have the necessary components transported via the Tower of Babel. If you've noticed, I have actually turned the game sound back down because in the previous video I noticed that even though what I'm saying is definitely not the most important part of any of these videos, you could not hear what I was saying really very well at all over the game sounds. I do try not to talk when there are important things happening, but when I do talk, I tend to do so for a reason. I don't know. Of course, it will take time until the work is complete. Hopefully the levels are good, and if not, I'll adjust them again, but we'll see. For now, pray take your ease. 'Twould seem there is naught to do but rest and prepare, shall we? Says Y'shtola. I nod. And we walk out of the Forum, leaving Living Way, Fortuno, and Fortuno's... Oh, his name is Barnier, but it's probably French, Barnier, you know. Gosh darn French. Always ruining... No, I'm just kidding. I don't know anything about anything. Don't worry about me. Just outside of this round building chamber Mahuzit, we have a conversation with the Scions. And a cutscene. Right after I put my headshot back on to hide. Ere we depart, we must leave nothing undone. Quite, though it is difficult to conceive of how one can best prepare to brave a domain where Dynamis governs all, says Y'shtola. Nevertheless, Heidelin deemed us worthy of the trials that await. Wow. For lack of any other feasible options at this late stage, let us trust in her judgment and face Meteon as we are. Which leaves the not-so-small task of coordinating our efforts here to you and Tataru, Alisei says to Kryle. If all goes to plan, we'll be back before you know it. I certainly hope so, says Kryle. We will be praying for your safe return. Mayhap it will affect the Dynamis for the better. With that settled, we should get some rest and make the most of the time we've been afforded. Tataru is running to us. That was the that Alphino had. The meeting's over, is it? You were in there for so long I started to worry. What did they have to say? I explain. She bows her head, thinking, sad. The edge of creation, I see. She's afraid she's going to lose all of us, I think. Rest assured, everything will remain in order until you return, and you will return. Actually, Mercy, could I borrow you for a moment? Looks like your plans for the interim are decided. When the two of you have finished, meet us back at the Baldessian Annex, alright? Says Thancred. Everyone leaves. Just me and Tataru now. Come with me to Agora. I have something to show you. I know her voice is a little bit lower and whatever, but I'm trying to distinguish it from every frickin' buddy else's, so. I don't know how much voice actors get paid, but you would think, like, if they have them in shop to do certain scenes, how hard would it be to also... Oh, another hour? $100? Sure. I mean, we're paying $15 a month. We're paying for expansions. People are probably paying for little cosmetic things here and there. I certainly do not, generally. It's not a thing I've usually been interested in. But we follow Tataru to like the market area, the Agora, as it's called. I don't think I've been here much at all, really. There's a market board, I've just never used it. I think I could probably summon my, what are they called? Not aids. Retainers. I could summon my retainers here and sell stuff that I probably need to sell, but... Is it even worth putting up my headshot anymore? I often fail to block whatever. Welcome, Mercy, to Taru's boutique. I've always done my best to provide the Scions with fashionable attire, but in your case specifically, I make an extra effort to strive for the most functional yet stylish clothing one could ask for. Not that I'm playing favorites, but you are the Warrior of Light. Faced with this unprecedented crisis, I knew you would need an ensemble unlike anything I've created before, and that I wouldn't be able to do it alone. And so, after enlisting the aid of the world's finest artisans, I finally completed my career-defining masterpiece. But then inspiration struck, and I saw a golden opportunity just begging to be seized. With the help of some Thavnarian refugees, I decided to set up shop here in Charlian. Of course, I would never charge you for any of our works. Perish the thought. Varsarud. Victor A.R. Sam A.R.U. Delta H. Varsarud. How are things coming along? That's a female Auron. Everything is in order, Mistress Tataru. We'll be ready to open shortly. I don't care what the Auron general... What are they called? Accents sound like. Jeez. Which is why I brought you here, to be our very first patron. Would you mind waiting here a moment longer? I'll wait at this destination. Cannot be skipped. Okay, let's go. Remove headshot and go. We have this kind of panoramic view of this market area. Ah, I did not expect to find you here, says a random voice I don't know yet. It's the young boy who serves as the speaker for Vitra, I think, is how that all works out. Or is the astral projection, I don't know, whatever. I imagined Nitana would also wish to offer her regards. Alas, after delivering our dragon scales to the engineers, she remained to assist with their work on the ether burner. This simulacrum, too, will stay in Charlian, while I oversee matters in Raldatan. It is a rather convenient means to keep abreast of developments pertaining to the final days or anything else. It allows me, after a fashion, to watch over my people in this distant land. Tataru comes into play. Varshan, I was hoping you'd stop by. I can't thank you enough for allowing your artisans to work with me here at the boutique. Please, it is I who should be thanking you. This establishment has restored a sense of normalcy to their lives. You have blessed them with a newfound purpose and a means by which to support themselves in these troubled times. What's more, when they at last return home to Radzatan, the experience and knowledge they have gained in your employ will no doubt prove a boon to the artistry and commerce of our land. In fact, I came here to see how your new employees are settling in, and to express my gratitude for granting them this opportunity. It's an opportunity for me as well. Believe you me, your artisans have taught me so much about Thavnarian craftsmanship. Their resourcefulness and ingenuity are nothing short of inspiring. I can't wait to see what kind of wonders we come up with. Farshawn giggles. I pray you every success in your endeavors, Mistress Tataru. Before coming here, I heard word of the Forum's decision of what will soon be attempted. It was only then that I finally understood why my father called this star the last bastion of hope. Indeed, it was the last bastion, for the flame of every other star he encountered had likely been extinguished. In the boundless dark, the light of brimming life must have been blinding in its splendor. You journey unto the heavens to protect that light. May the scales of my kin serve you well. I have faith you will prevail and restore peace and tranquility to this star. My options are, would that Achewan were alive to see it, or I should like to visit Razat Han again when this is all over, or I worry your faith in me may be misplaced. Would that Achewan were alive to see it. I will not see his sacrifice squandered, nor shall I rest until Razat Han has returned to its former glory. I nod. Forgive me, but I must take my leave. Fare you well, and remember, the people of this star have not yet given up hope, and neither must you. I know I changed the accent probably a billion times. Exaggeration, obviously, but it was bad. Tataru waves as Varshan walks off. We are once again just staring out over the marketplace, enjoying the beautiful view, when someone else will talk to us, I'm sure. Another unknown voice for now. Ugh, where must I go to get a meal with some flavor in this wasteland of taste? I'm looking for the source of the voice, and... oh, up comes running a Manalayan. Mercy, old girl, my, whatever are you doing here? A new boutique, you say? I had been meaning to expand my wardrobe. Yes, something with a little more flair, perhaps, befitting a man of my station. Though I have nowhere to flaunt said raiment so long as my confinement continues indefinitely. The young Lord Fortemps insists that as long as there is work to be done, no matter how trivial, I must abide here in Charlian. Thus do I toil, though every fibre of my being rails against it. Why, I've even suffered the company of that brute Sakar to see supplies transported in a timely fashion. Yet he was the one granted leave this morning to participate in some supposed covert operation. So I suffer instead for his otherwise welcome absence. Josh. Now burdened with extra busy work, without Honoroy here, there's no one to prepare my meals. I came here in the hopes of finding a nice cafe, perhaps. Alas, the Charlian delicacies I've sampled were lacking in every respect. Yeah, that's pretty. My options are: have you tried the Archon loaf? You can find it in all the shops. I know better than that. If a hearty meal is what you're after, I'd suggest the Last Stand. If a hearty meal is what you're after, I'd suggest the Last Stand. He cocks his head at that. The cafe over on the pier, their cuisine didn't appear all that appetizing, but if you vouch for the cooking, then perhaps I will give it a try. Thank you for the suggestion, and ta-ta for now, old girl. And the young paladin of Elizin descent walks away. I thought his older brother was alive. Is he like the new king? I can't remember how that went. But once again, we're looking out over the bazaar, the marketplace, the round. Another new voice I don't know yet. Well, is that Mercy and Tataru I spy? Well, is that Mercy and Tataru I spy? I can't remember Hancock's voice. Hancock, what are you still doing here? You said you were returning immediately after dropping off your cargo. Yes, that was my original plan. After all, any expertise required aside from the delivery of goods is well beyond my purview. But what manner of entrepreneur would squander an opportunity to study the markets of the northern seas? Worry not, I will return straight away to Kugane once I have finished. Of course, you would find a way to turn this crisis to your advantage. She wounds me, the industrious woman running a new boutique. I am not blind to the travails of those who fight on the front lines to deliver us from ruin. Indeed, I have every confidence that it will succeed, and I would make myself and my business ready for their return. If you believe in them so devoutly, then why not put your money where your mouth is? Fair enough, Tataru, fair enough, he says while laughing. There's not more I can do to help ready the Ark and her heroes for their maiden voyage, but on your return I shall host a grand celebration in your honor at the Bokaro Inn. Accommodations are quite costly given the repudiation of said establishment, but the East Aldenard Trading Company would be honored to foot the bill. My options are, I appreciate the gesture, but no thank you. Or, will there be lemon cakes? Will there be lemon cakes? Oh, a woman of tastes, I see. Yes, there will be lemon cakes and much, much more. The finest delicacies the world and Lord Lolorito have to offer. I know that's not his voice. I can't remember what it is though. Tataru crosses her arms and has a stern face, and he like looks to her and like shrugs his shoulders and raises his hands. But let us speak more of this upon your return, lest I draw even more of Tataru's ire. Until next we meet. Until next we meet. I don't remember what his voice is. I think it's British. Right. What's next? He asks. Really, honestly, having no idea. Back and forth, our head goes, keeping our head in our swivel, defensive. Also admiring the beauty of this round marketplace. Another voice. Ah, mercy. Decided to spend your time at the markets, did you? And who should it be? Wedge and Biggs. They wave. Tataru! Biggs, Wedge, I take it work on the Ark proceeds apace. Aye, it does indeed. Collaborating with the greatest minds of Charlian and Rosit Han has been a rewarding experience, and that's to say nothing of what we've learned from the Loperites, says Biggs. The Ark is unlike anything we've ever had the pleasure to work on. Even Nero was rendered speechless on more than one occasion. I can't wait for you to see it. I nod. It's still hard to believe we have the means to send you off into the great expanse, though, to the farthest known reaches of, well, everything. I never thought I'd live to see such marvels, yet here I am. More often than not, you and the Scions are the catalyst that sparks the need for these great innovations. To think how much I'd have missed out on had I not been a member of the Ironworks. I lost his fucking accent. My bad. An awful lot of work, to be fair, and the privilege of being worked like a cart chocobo. Biggs laughs at that. Ha! There is that too. As busy as we've been, I wish there was more we could do for you, Mercy. But no matter what happens, we have to keep believing for a brighter future. My options are that we do, my friends, that we do, and one filled with even more adventure. That we do, my friends, that we do. They both give their customary thumbs up. When you head back, would you tell the engineers I'll be along shortly with refreshments? That's very kind of you, Tataru. They'll be glad to hear it. And on that note, Wedge and I should get going. Still a few more supplies to gather before we return. He gives a wave. Wedge is still like staring at Tataru. She gives a wave to him. I think Wedge definitely has a thing for her. I mean, she cocks her head at him, like staring at her, and then he runs off to join Biggs. That's cute. She gives a little, yay! Terribly sorry for the wait. Right this way, if you please. Or is that the Aran girl? Who now gives a bow to us as we focus on her. Right, I don't believe the two of you have been formally introduced. This is Varsarud from Palaka's stand. She gives a bow. My options are pleased to meet you, or haven't we met before? Haven't we met before? Ah, yes. It was you who helped us at Perusa, and again when crossing the ice field, was it not? I doubt we exchanged little more than glances then, but it's kind of you to remember me. Thanks to Mistress Tataru, I and many of my friends have found gainful employment in this foreign land. It is only natural to feel fear in the face of calamity. In such times we must look to one another for strength and succor. I know not whether we will come to call this place home or return to Thavner, but we are here today, and we are glad to have contributed to this cause. And contribute they did by helping to make your new garments as durable as possible. We put our hearts and souls into them, and I have every confidence they'll keep you safe in the battle to come. I smile and nod. Gods, to think how far we've come since our humble beginnings at the waking sands. From the rising stones to the falling snows, and even a certain insufferable someone's Ruby Bazaar, we were always fortunate to find friends along the way. Even when you were swept away to the first, Grahatia was there to grant you sanctuary. I'll never forget the relief I felt when you were all returned to us. I thought my heart would burst. She's fighting back tears a little bit. Yours has been a long, long journey, and I've been privileged to watch, often with bated breath, as you persevered time and again. For all the joy we've shared, there's been much sorrow as well, but I've long since learned you can't have one without the other. Which is why I promised to send you off to the Sea of Stars with a smile. And you can be certain I'll be the first one to welcome you back on your return. Now she smiles a little bit. She was kind of serious until then. My stomach is super growly. I'm waiting for my fiance to wake up on the other side of the world. Damn near literally. The opposite side of the world from where I live is like northwestern Australia, or it's off the coast of northwest Australia, and the Philippines is not far from there. So like it's almost as close to the literal opposite side of the world as it could be. But anyway, we'll talk to Varsarud. Varsarud? I don't know. In addition to your new ensemble, we have raiments and weaponry for every need, so please feel free to browse our stock. A bold decision is complete. Is there an after thing? You may now obtain job-specific gear from Varsarud. They're limited to level 89, but subject to level sync. Yeah, that's normal. Upon reaching level 90 with the job, the items will no longer be synced. The gear can be dyed upon completion of the role quest associated with said job. I'm not entirely sure what all that meant, but okay. Okay, what do you got then? Hold on. I'm tank right now. What do you got? What's going on here? How does this work? I want to claim it. I want to see. Okay. How about the tank? Try on. So far, not very impressed. The crown would be nice, so I don't have to. I've had crowns like this before. How about... Why are these all different? Oh, because it's different for each class. Okay. So the body... Body's pretty cool. It's like this kind of obsidian black. That's what it looks like. Sort of. Like, I don't know, whatever. It's cool though. So are Are these only for... It's free, right? So it's only for... Wait, that's way better than what I have. How does this work? Oh, I'm not level 90 yet. Is that a problem? Anyway, I'll think about figuring that out after all this, I think. Hold on. No, not too good. Let's try this one. Magical range. In theory, this is a bonus. Hold on. We have intelligence 213. Okay. It's a big bonus to intelligence. Does this really, like... How many of these items can I claim? I have to look this up, because I'm... Okay. You know what? Yeah, this video is long enough. I'll figure it out in my off time. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time.